Hey everybody, Ben Frederickson here alongside Jeff Gordon talking Blues hockey. Breaking news, Gordo. We both dressed for a funeral, but not so fast.
Yeah.
The Blues are 3 games above 500 for the first time since they started the season, 3-0. They're winning games in chunks. They got a bunch of games at home. What are we taking away from this as the Blues kind of try to prove, hey, this season isn't over yet? You said, hey, what jumps out to you is they're playing hard for their coach.
Yeah, I mean, you always wonder when a team gets into these stretches where you lose like 8 games in a row and you lose them badly, that maybe the message is worn out. It's a familiar story. At some point, there's an expiration date on just about any coach in any sport. Ask John Calipari at Kentucky in college basketball. But it doesn't.
I like the cross-sports reference.
Yeah, I'll just throw it in there. But it's clear that these guys still want to play for the Chief. They were dead in the water against Calgary on Tuesday. I mean, they were dead. There was nothing happening. Stone silence in the arena. The third period, they come out on fire. Apparently, the Chief had a talk with them, and they responded. And this is how they've continued to dig deep through this stretch. 3-1 on the road trip. The rally from 3-1 down against Calgary. I don't know if it's leading anywhere, Ben Fred, but we can say one thing for sure, that Craig Berube still has the attention of his players.
Yeah, Doug Armstrong backed Craig Berube earlier in the season, and now the players are backing him with their play. Although I think you got to give some credit to Nikki Glazer, the St. Louis comedian, was in the house. Maybe her presence fired up the boys. If you're Doug Armstrong and you're watching this, A, you feel good about it. B, you feel like, hey, maybe we're a team that it's not just going to be a lost season. Maybe these guys can scratch and claw. Does it start to maybe make you think differently about the trade deadline if you're Army, A, that you maybe could trade some of those rentals because they're not playing right now, and Ryan O'Reilly, Vladimir Tarasenko, or does it maybe trade the ask you're looking for if you're saying, hey, maybe instead of going future draft picks, maybe future young guys, prospects, maybe you start to try to get somebody who's young and can help this team in the future, but also now. I mean, he could be kind of shifting his ask and what he's shopping for as this season progresses, and if this group continues to play this way.
Yeah, you got 6 more games on this homestand, and there's a lot of time to rest and recover, and you got the All-Star break and the bye week. All the stuff's all setting up well for the Blues, so can they take advantage of it? Well, what I do see, which makes Doug Armstrong feel a lot better, is, he called out Brandon Saad, he called out Braden Shen. These guys are under contract for some time. They're going to have to be guys, whether both Tarasenko and O'Reilly leave or if one of them stays. It doesn't matter. These guys are important going forward. This team will transition. There will be retooling. They need these guys who are under contract to be good players. They have responded well, as has Pavel Buchnevich, another guy that's under contract going forward. So, big takeaway for me, those 3 guys who are going to be important for the rest of this year, but also the next several years, rose up after a pretty blunt, challenge from the GM.
Always nice when Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas are coming up with ways to swing games, because those guys are going to be around for a long time, Gordo. The Blues, they're hanging in. We've got it covered at stltoday.com. For Jeff Gordon, I'm Ben Frederickson. We'll talk to you next time.